on the sideline of the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference, and with me now is Ivan Bebek. He is the Executive Chairman for Auryn Resources. Welcome back to the show, Ivan.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
So a lot to catch up with you about today. Let's start with some updates on Auryn. Tell us about the latest coming out of Peru here.
Sure. We're drilling our first Peruvian project. We have 4 down there. Unlike Canada, this is a mineralization that comes right to surface, so it's a little bit easier for us in the targeting basis. We drilled 4 holes and we're going to finish our 5th, and we hit a huge surprise in terms of the gold is held in an oxide mineralization that you see right at surface, and we were drilling down underneath it where no one has ever drilled before, and we hit a 220 meter wide intercept of rock that may or may not contain gold. It's the same rock that at surface has gold in it, which is really encouraging, but it is an epithermal system, and as these things are formed, there's different pulses of gold that goes through the fluid pathways. In our case here, we see the right rocks, we see the fluid, we see the massive silica, which would be known to carry the gold, but it goes in for assays tomorrow, so it's nice to have a huge width. Yeah, it'll be about 3 weeks before we get results, but nice to have a huge hole.
So is this going to be the main focus then for the first half of the year?
This will, depending on the results, it could be the main focus for 9 months. You know, it's something that is very, very easy, amenable to bringing towards a production state. A mine next door is mining at $3.13 cash cost per ounce. They're mining 0.5 gram rock through heap leach, and so this is a very analogous target to what they have. They found about 2 million ounces. For us, if we found 1 million to 2 million ounces of that material, it would be an incredibly valuable.
Is it still too early to know the estimate or what you think is there?
It is, so I'm speculating to be fair, but you know, it's too encouraging not to talk about it, and so that's why I'm here talking about it. And then one last comment, just Committee Bay will be drilled in the end of March. We go back and we drill underneath our Ivik discovery, so investors will not have to wait till June. They'll get to know in April, May, they'll get to see what happens up there. Is that Ivik discovery really going to grow into a big one?
Right, because you are really in 2 different jurisdictions, Peru and Nunavut. That's where your Ivik
discovery is. Yeah.
And so that's going to be, these 2 are your main focuses in 2018, Ivan?
Yeah, I think for now it's going to be Peru, what we're working on. There's a major project in Peru called Sombrero. It rivals the upside of what Committee Bay could be for us. We haven't had access because we've been working on community agreements for the last 1.5 years. We expect to get on this property in the next month. And but a lot of Committee Bay drilling and a lot of Peruvian.
I need to ask you, how do you deal with the climate challenges in Nunavut? I know a lot of other companies have issues, you know, with transportation, infrastructure, caribou migration.
So for the benefit of Committee Bay, no caribou migration at all. Okay. Obviously extremely cold right now, but you move along the snow, you know, and we're drilling RC, so it doesn't require water. If we were to drill core, we would have to melt the snow and ice to create water. Secondly, people like to think cost when they hear about northern projects, but when you finance up north, you're getting a 40% premium with charity flow-through financings too, so you can actually finance at a lot less dilutive rate. So the cost of theirs is reasonable, but you wouldn't do surface exploration until the summer unless you're onto something, which we think we are with Ivik, and we're going back in about 8 weeks as we stand here.
Ivan, I really want to get your thoughts now. I know you have so much to say about gold, commodities in general, and of course the cryptocurrencies. So gold has really started off with a bang here, strong start to the year, as we usually see in January, February. Do you think this is the year that gold's going to break out?
You know, I'd like to say yes, I certainly do.
Yeah.
It's performed incredibly well in the last year. It's up 10%. I think that there's been higher highs and higher lows. So there's a very obvious trend developing. I've listened to the biggest critic say that gold will not break out until next year. To me, I'm a speculator. I like to buy ahead of gold breaking out. So I think halfway through the year, we're going to start to see a really big move towards the gold market. So I'd say towards the end of the year, you could see a big move in gold, but the general theme is really positive. So maybe the end of the year.
But when you say big move, is it a $50 move, $100 move?
I think that 1,400 is a very, very big level for investors. If we can break that, I think we're in a whole new paradigm of the gold market. Then you might see an explosion from there.
Do you feel that the crypto craze really hurt gold in 2017? Even though gold was still one of the best performing assets, I think people forget that about 2017, but do you think it could have rallied more had it not been for the Bitcoin craze?
I think that it certainly did pull everybody out of the gold space because it was offering a very explosive upside investment. We saw Bitcoin go crazy last year. I think it was wrong to compete against each other. I don't think that it's fair to compete with gold and crypto. I think the market is realizing that now. Gold has thousands of years of history. It has a lot of stability behind the way it trades. It's a lot more predictable based on a lot of very, very valuable or realistic factors. Crypto for me is extremely unpredictable. You know, it's got a lot of vulnerability. You can't, if you have 1,000 ounces of gold, you can borrow against it, you can insure it, you can put it in the bank. If you have $1,000 worth of crypto, you can't borrow against it, you can't insure it.
So you wouldn't touch the cryptos?
I don't like the vulnerability. I don't know enough about it. I'm really happy with real assets versus digital assets.
Do you think silver will follow gold soon?
Silver has notoriously followed gold, so I like silver a lot as well. Absolutely.
Ivan, best of luck in 2018. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you so much for having me.
And yeah, thank you. And thank you for watching. We'll have much more for you from the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference, so be sure to stay tuned to Kitco.com. Thanks, Ivan.